All right, so I had 3 calls today all about dating and why men are the way that they are, and all 3 of these clients were women, and they had very valid points and very valid questions, so I'm going to do my best to answer them as quick as I can. Nope, I am not a fucking dating or relationship coach. I've fucked up a lot of shit. I'm not perfect, but I've also read a lot of books and watched a lot of YouTube videos, so I feel like I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. But most of my questions today were, hey, this guy ghosted me. This guy was living a double life, and this guy wasn't what he thought he was, and why do men suck? Why aren't men being men anymore? Pretty much all 3 of those questions combined, and what I'm going to tell you is this. Number 1, masculinity has been under attack for a very long time. Through food, through microplastics, through maybe even things that doctors put into us, right? I don't know, not a big conspiracy guy on that stuff. I just don't know a whole lot. But I do know that masculinity has kind of been villainized. And I think that when society has better men, they are better fathers, they're more committed, they are more trustworthy, they know what they want, they go after it, and they take risks, and that's a good thing. And I think when society is good men, I think good men lift up everybody around them, everyone in their community. And I want to see more of that, especially in this country. That's probably why I love coaching so much. With most of my clients being women, I will say this, is that men have been under attack through their own addictions, right? An overabundance of, half-naked people on the internet and websites that offer all of that content for a monthly subscription, and video games, and the prom word that rhymes with not prom, you know what I mean? A lot of those videos and that kind of content has made men really weak because it's giving them pleasure and it's giving them dopamine, and they can get booze and they can get sugar and they can get video games and they can get all sorts of pleasure at a moment's notice with this little phone device that you're watching this on. And then it's destroying their inner drive. It's destroying their motivation. It's flooding them with artificial dopamine, and it's reducing their ability to go out there and do what needs to be done. Men no longer have to go out, hunt, and kill, but men are still judged by their ability to protect and provide and keep their word. And so when men are avoidant, or simply, even if you do find kind of a manly man, but he's kind of being a little bit avoidant to you, it's probably because he's been hurt, number 1. And that is because men are inherently judged by everything that they use to make their decision-making process. So if they were with a woman and that woman cheated on them, that man's judgment comes into question by other men, because other men see that man and be like, how could you pick a wife that was cheating on you? How did you not see that, right? How did you miss all of those signs? Everything about that man goes under scrutiny. No one ever crucifies the woman who went out and cheated and did all of that stuff. It always comes back and blames it on the man, like 95% of the time. That's just how it goes. So when a man's judgment and essentially decision-making process comes into question, right? His ego goes down and he starts to question everything. He becomes really avoidant. He doesn't want to make the wrong decision again. He becomes very hesitant. That's a real thing. The other thing about men is that when your decision-making process comes into question, you start to really question yourself. Your confidence goes down, everything else goes down, your health goes down, and that sucks. Because you, as a man, you are nature's most disposable resource. And guess what? You got to work yourself to death, and you got to protect and provide, and it's your job to fight and die. But you don't have to go out and hunt like that anymore. So is life really like that anymore? I don't know. I guess not really. So what I'm trying to get at here is that men need to be better men. You need to get rid of your vices and addictions. And women, you have to understand and empathize that men are really kind of under attack by a lot of things out there, right? There's attacks on Christianity all the time, and I don't care what God you worship and what time of day you worship, all that. Like, go do your thing, that's cool. But like, men are kind of being demonized, and I wish that the world would just kind of let men be men and do their thing. But for whatever reason, men are falling to a lot of these vices and addictions that society has kind of laid out for us. And in order for you to become a high-value man, you have to rid yourself of these things. You have to spend more time in nature. You have to challenge yourself constantly at every single age. Improve your body, improve your mind, read more books. And you have to do the basics, and you have to be a master at the basics before you can move on to the more advanced shit, So, ladies, be patient with men. It's not your job to teach men how to be men, unless they're your boys, but like, you shouldn't have to teach other men your age how to be men. They should be able to figure that out themselves. And if they can't, they need help. But men, what do we love to do? We don't like to admit we have a problem, and we don't like to ask for help. So therein lies a conundrum. I don't have all the solutions, but I just like to point stuff out. And if you want one-on-one coaching, hit me up because I can help you out with dating situations and problems. Worked through 3 of them already today. See you guys in the next one.